Hi there, this screener is just going to demonstrate how to quickly create a tabbed interaction in PowerPoint for your Articulate e-learning courses. And the reason why I do this kind of stuff when I build e-learning is to have complete control over visually how the buttons look and how the information comes in. Engage is great for very quick and simple interactions, and you can dress that up a little bit. But if you do want to break out of the template and create your own look and feel, this is how you would do it. So you can make it look any way that you want. Here's an example with some kind of light whitish gray buttons along the left hand side, and then the information is going to appear here and some supporting information down below as well. So when you select one of the options, let's say apples, you can see that the color of the button changes to make it look like it's selected. An apple slides out and information about it appears below. The information that the lady is holding also changes too. If I click oranges, notice how the orange just kind of slides out, sneaks out from underneath those buttons, and the same type of information appears. So pay attention here when the pear comes out. Again, it's kind of sliding out from underneath those buttons, and like that. So each one operates that way. You can go back and select each one again. So let me show you how I created this in PowerPoint. Very simple. It's 5 slides. You need one slide for each one of your options that are in your menu, and then you need one slide that is your menu itself, or or the tabs, or whatever you'd like to call them. So in this case, it's a series of 4 buttons, and slides 2, 3, 4, and 5 contain the contents of each of those buttons in order. So if I take a look at slide number 2, each of them are set up identically, by the way. So we'll just take a look at the apple slide. First, let's look at the animations that are happening. So the apple slides in. This is just a motion path going from the left to the right, so from underneath the buttons over to the starting point. Now the way I did this was I positioned the apple here. I placed the image of the apple right there. I set up my motion path, and from this point to this point, and then I reversed the path so that instead of going this way, it's actually going from the end point back to the beginning point. So you just use the reverse path direction to do that. If you do it that way, then when you place an image in, your image, the landing point of your image will always be exactly where you want it to be. Okay, so you do that, and then that comes in first, and then the description follows with just a quick fade in, and then the placard changes with a quick little zoom up. And that's it. 3 simple animations, and that's repeated on each of the slides. Each one of these buttons is also hyperlinked, obviously, to the corresponding slide. So oranges is hyperlinked, this button is hyperlinked to slide 3, pears is hyperlinked to slide 4, and so on. And each of the buttons on each slide has that same hyperlinking. Now what makes the effect look kind of cool is, let me play it again here, so you can see that the apple slides out, but you can't see it sliding out from underneath the buttons. And the reason why I've done that is, or I did that, is because it looks a little wonky if you can see the actual apple through the buttons. So all I did was I created a cover. And basically it's just a shape with the exact same fill of this box here, so it blends in identically, so it has the exact same fill. And you can just use the format command over here, your format painter, to be able to replicate that easily, or just duplicate the box and make sure that there aren't any lines, so that it blends in seamlessly. And so if I don't have that cover there, this is what happens. So you see, it kind of doesn't look very professional. It looks kind of wonky when you do that. So the technique here is just simply to put a cover, and the cover goes behind the buttons but on top of the apple. And when we play it back, you get that effect. So just to be clear here, let's go over to the selection pane. I'm going to close the animation pane. Under select, you can see that the apple is sitting lower, on a lower layer than the cover is, and the cover is on a lower layer than the buttons are above it. And so long as you have it in that order, then you can create this effect. And again, you can design it any way that you want, and how to look any way that you want, and any number of options as well. So hopefully you find that helpful. Thanks.